What's up, everybody? Spartan Overdrive back with another adventure in Hybridcraft, the Minecraft Let's Play where we like to do all the things. Today we are going to get started with what's right in front of us. I've got a gift for you, and I also need your help. I've been working on a little bit of texture pack changes. People were asking me for the stone texture pack, and I was using someone else, the pack that they had made. I'm trying to work on my own, and if you don't know already, check out the description below. There will be downloads for this and everything else. It's a modular add-on resource pack for Faithful HD, so it goes with all this stuff here. So here's the first thing that we did. It's stone and gravel. Stone is right here, as you can see. It's just really minor stuff. It just kind of makes it a little bit more diverse and gives it a little bit of shading here and there, and just real minor stuff because we don't want to change the overall look. We just want to give it a little bit of texture variety. And then I did the same thing over here with cobblestone, and you probably can't see a huge difference. I'll see if I can maybe put up a side-by-side comparison on the screen, but basically we've got 4 or 5 different versions of custom cobblestone that I made that fit in, I think, pretty nicely with the original, and I think it goes pretty good. It just gives us a little bit more variety as far as the organization and shape of the stones and all that good stuff. And then the last thing, this is the controversy for me personally, and what I need your help on. I tried to make everything pretty much default with just minor variances. The thing that bothered me about Faithful's version of gravel is that I thought it was a little too smooth. The stones were a little too big because gravel is typically fairly small stones, and when you're comparing the original Faithful stones in the gravel to the stones in the cobblestone, there wasn't a huge difference. The stones were about this size right here, and again, I'll try to throw up a side-by-side comparison so you can see. But here's the deal. Now that I've made this stone smaller, I've shrunk it by about 1/3 is what I did. It's the exact same texture, essentially. It's just shrunken down by 1/3. And then we did the same kind of light and dark, real minor, but just a little bit of variation between the different ones there. And so that's why you can kind of see a little bit of difference. Like this is a lighter block and that's a darker block. But anyways, I think maybe I've gotten used to the Faithful texture pack because now I don't know if I like this. So you guys let me know. I'm real curious to what you guys think about this. I think it is growing on me. I've been looking at it for a little bit now, but I'd be real curious. Let me know what you think below if you like this or not. If you don't, I could put this in its own pack so that you don't have to have this if you have this. If you do like it or don't, either way, I'd be curious. And also, let me know what pack you typically use. I mean, if you're using default, I think you'll be more comfortable with this. But if you're used to Faithful, you're probably going to like the Faithful version better. This might be a little too... maybe not smooth enough, I guess is a word. So anyways, and then why don't we zoom over here because we get a little bit better look at the stone when we can... Whoa, there we go. That didn't work out so hot, did it? I was hoping that I could bounce over here really fast, but apparently that's not going to happen. We'll just take a quick little stroll. But you can see in the mountainside here, I think that's a pretty cool little deal. I think it looks good. And then you can see the stone here too. Let's zoom in on that real quick. Or the cobble. Not the cobble. Come on, get it right. Gravel. You know, I think it's really growing on me. I'm still interested to what you guys think. Yeah, let me know what you think. I like it. So let's go ahead and get out of this screen. Can we please hit the right buttons? Thank you very much. We're going to go ahead and rush on over to the project we're doing today, and it has something to do with, oh my goodness, we got a beacon installed. Finally, if you guys have been watching the streams, you're well aware of that. But I got that, a while back. And we have been working on clearing the space out below this fishing shack so that we can have a better area to mob farm while we're doing the fishing at the same time. Man, I'm bouncing all over the place. I think my elytra are crazy. I may have to turn this volume down for you guys because we got a couple farms going on down here at the same time. If you're new to the channel, this is where I do all my fishing and get all my loot here. And then I figured while I'm over here, let's go ahead and put up a paper farm. Oh, this thing is broken. Guys, I got to figure out what's going on with this. It keeps breaking on me. Let me show you guys real quick. Maybe you have a good idea and a suggestion for me. You can tell me. I do that every time. Somehow it never works. There we go. Maybe you guys can give me an idea or suggestion on what's wrong with this. But let me show you real quick. I know what's wrong with it. I just don't know how to fix it or why it's wrong at all. But basically, this is not... You see they all pushed out as soon as that block updated? The issue is these right here. They're all powered all the time. and I don't know why. The only way to fix this that I've found out is to basically rebuild the farm. It's so easy, it's no big deal, but why would I want to do that? I mean, the farm is here for a reason. We shouldn't have to rebuild it every time, right? That's a little bit nutty. What am I doing wrong here, guys? All right, see, this is how these things are supposed to be. They're not supposed to be lit up and active. There, see how that blinked like that? That's supposed to turn red as a flash when this thing grows up. So this thing grows up, and in fact, let's do it right now. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. When this comes up here, boom. That's how it's supposed to work. Now, why is it refusing to cooperate? It works fine now. See, the redstone is not powered, but for some reason, it's getting stuck to where the redstone and these things stay powered nonstop. I don't know what's wrong. Why are these observers blocks not working? This is concerning me because today's project has to do with redstone, and I'm not so great at it, but this is the simplest project ever. I have no idea why it's not working. This is a little bit crazy, and it's making me a little bit worried about today's project. So what is today's project? Well, like I said, we come down here and we fish right here, and while we're here, we may as well, since we're AFK, get this thing going, if it'll work for me, for crying out loud. But it's been working pretty good. I got quite a bit of sugarcane built up. Just need to get it consistent. So if anybody has any ideas, please let me know. But while we're here, why don't we get a third farm going on? Again, I know this isn't going to be the most efficient thing in the world because it's underground and all this other stuff going on, but it's going to work for my purposes. I'm going to light up all the caves and all that good stuff. But this is going to be a simple mob farm. I've got it all dug out now, down to bedrock, and we're going to put it in some sort of killing chamber down there. I still got to figure that one out, but that's the goal for today. And then we're going to freestyle some redstone up here. The easy part is this right here. Now, how am I going to get back up? I don't know quite yet, but let's go ahead and get our project box out, and I can kind of show you the idea. I can't remember if I showed this in a video or just a stream. I think I had it in a video, and it's pretty simple. If I can get the right stuff. Dispenser, you know what? I don't think I have enough of those. I forgot to grab those. I'll have to get some more in a minute. But this is the simplest part right here. We've got this mechanism here to where we use observer blocks if they'll work correctly and not mess us up like it seems to be the case in the deal upstairs. But all we got to do is place this thing right here. We've got an observer here facing upwards. We're going to level that out, and anytime something changes above that, a block update happens, then this dispenser here is going to release a water bucket down below. I'm not going to put it in there yet because I don't want to flood this whole area. And then we're just going to have a chain reaction because right here is going to be another observer facing up. That's the wrong way. But you get the idea. We're going to face this thing upwards, and so it's going to detect the water that drops out of the dispenser above it. So this section is pretty much the simplest redstone ever, and it'd be pretty tough to mess up. The only tough part for me, probably pretty simple, I'm hoping, but for me it's new, so I gotta up here dig out this level and figure out a way to get a clock mechanism going so that we can make this place a spawnable place, get a bunch of zombies spawned in, or mobs of any sort really, and then we can flush them out basically. But we've got to time this so that we get a bunch of them spawned up here and then just periodically flush them out. So that's what I got to do today, is kind of freestyle some redstone up there to get a clock going. And then again, down at the bottom, I've got to figure out a way to hopefully flush all these guys out, because this isn't tall enough to be since the bedrock's right there, this isn't tall enough to be a killing chamber just from the free fall damage. It's going to have something else down there. So there's a few options. We're going to see what works best. The toughest thing to kill are going to be the witches, because they can use health regen. So we'll have to get creative and come up with something. All right, we got something that kind of sort of halfway works. We're just got a regular etho hopper clock here. Pretty simple, not a lot to it, but even that being said, I barely understand it. I had to look it up yet again. Every time this moves, it's going to update the observer block, and then that's going to update the dispenser down below and push the water out. Now, the thing is, if you notice, I've got this moving pretty fast because what just happened there, it only updates the observer when the block is directly over it. It doesn't update it when it pushes back. And that I'm not sure I understand, because the observer should update either way. But as we know from earlier in the episode, the observers aren't behaving at all like I expected. So this could work. We would just extend the time a little bit. But I think there's a better way to do it, because I think that we want to have the I think we want more time without water than we want with the water, and I'm going to have to time it out and see how long we actually want the water and so forth. But I think what I want to do, and I'm not sure how to do it yet, I'm going to try really hard to figure it out and show you guys. But I think what we want is to create some sort of pulse signal every time this moves, and we want it to be a different signal length each time, so that basically what we're trying to get at is having the water on the platform for less amount of time than the water is off of the platform, so that we get more mobs spawning in. If it doesn't work out, no big deal. This will work. It just isn't that efficient. This isn't the most efficient build anyways, but it's just me on here. It's not a server or anything, so it's no big deal. But I'm going to see if I can't figure it out. I think I have some things to look up, like something of the sorts called a T flip-flop maybe. That might help me. I don't know. I'm going to learn, and then I'll teach you guys. Oh man, I think we're onto something. If you notice, this one in the front, it extends and leaves it here. And so basically it only moves the block every time, like every other motion of the etho clock in the back. Whereas the one on this side, every single time this clock moves, this block moves. So we've got two different timings here. Now what we're onto, I don't know, but we're definitely onto something. Oh my goodness, guys, I think I actually came up with a redstone device all on my own. It's not pretty, and I guarantee someone's come up with it before, because like I always say, there's nothing new in the world of Minecraft. But man, I'm feeling good about this. I've never done a legit redstone project like this. Obviously, we borrowed the etho hopper clock over there. That's a kind of a staple. Not much we can do about that. But again, the rest of this is not pretty. Basically, what we got going on here is this is, I think, called is this a pulse clock maybe? I'm not sure. It causes a pulse. You saw that a minute ago. It's the same basic layout, but basically this, you see it in action. It causes just a really quick one tick pulse that comes out here, and then it causes a signal to be split right here. And so my idea was I could have one signal come out really quickly. There's no delay on this at all, so instantly it hits this thing and powers it, and then it runs into this, and it can't go anywhere else because these repeaters are facing in this direction, so it stops the signal. In the meantime, all of these repeaters are on full delay, and it takes them a while, as you can see. Now, I don't know if this is long enough or if it's too long or what, but what's happening is the first signal coming from this side here starts the water stream, and then the second one comes in and stops it. So what I need to do now is, let's see if we can get into game mode. Instead of testing this in a test world, why don't we just go ahead and do it here? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and get a monster egg, wherever those things are, and let's just grab an egg and grab a zombie, because that's going to be probably a pretty common thing to spawn in there. Can I find a zombie? Well, obviously zombie is going to be at the end. It starts with a Z, right? So let's grab just a regular old zombie here and try not to get rid of something important. Can I do this? Okay, I think I can. And let's go ahead and place this bad boy down here as soon as this thing stops, and we'll see if it's long enough for this thing. There we go. Is it done? Okay, so we'll spawn this down here, and maybe spawn a couple. And we want some in real close. Baby zombie, there we go. And let's go ahead and fly so we don't get washed away, and see how long, when this thing goes off in a minute, how long it takes these guys to get shoved off of here. Because I might have to extend that a little bit. And same thing with, let's see if I can pop back up here real quick. Where's the, there it is. This thing up here, this delay, I've got a stack plus 16 stone in there. So I don't know if that's long enough yet or not either for this stuff to I'm just going to have to go, and maybe I can check it out in spectator mode and see if very many zombies and different things spawn in here. Right now, there's not going to be that many because I'm going to have to put another one in here. There's not going to be that many because I don't have very many caves lit up. Oh, yeah. Man, these things are going off pretty fast. Okay, yeah, that should be plenty of time. And then it should go off any second. And that's, yeah, that should be plenty of time. I'm happy with that, guys. That's pretty good. The only thing, like I said, we might want to adjust this, but I think 64 plus the 16 gives us plenty of time for plenty of things to spawn down there. Now all we got to do is work our way down and make sure that this is connected up. I don't have water buckets in these yet, so I need to do that. And then all we got to do is figure out the deal down here. This might be more of a challenge, I'm not sure, but we'll have to come up with some way to kill all these bad boys down here. All right, guys, as you can see, we are in spectator mode and we are taking a look at this thing work like a charm. And as you can see, we've got quite a few of these bad guys down here, so I'm gonna have to go around and light this up so they don't keep spawning until I get the kill chamber in here. But it's working pretty good. They do kind of freak out if you notice like that, and I've noticed that sometimes they get stuck and don't work, and I may have to come in here and make repairs occasionally, kind of like we did with the reed farm up above, and that is unfortunate. If you guys know a way around that, if maybe that's just an issue with the observer blocks right now that I'm unaware of, but hopefully that we can get that lined out. If you guys have a better way of doing this, please let me know. I am a complete beginner at redstone, and I realize a lot of you guys are too. A few of you in particular I'm aware of might be brand new to this, so I want to explain to you why this is so cool and why I want to do this. This to me makes this an adult kind of game. It takes it from just design oriented stuff and takes it into a whole nother level of engineering and ingenuity. That's just really cool. And so the way that this works, if you aren't familiar, I have mentioned this already, Etho Hopper Clock. Let me jump back in creative real quick so I can kind of show you what's going on. A guy by the name of Etho's Lab invented this way back when these things first came out. These are called hoppers. And basically what happens is these transfer items, and they suck from above and then they transfer one direction or another. So I've got these facing each other, and basically I've added in 64 blocks, a whole stack plus 16 of another, and it's just going to transfer back and forth like it does. And this redstone block essentially locks it in place to allow the transfer to take place. If I didn't have this thing here, it would just flip flop back and forth really quickly. The actual items would, just one item at a time real fast. So this locks it and allows the full transfer of items, and once it's completely full, then it pushes this back over this way, and that's what happens. That's why we call this a clock, because it keeps time based on the amount of items that you have in there. And then what happens, and the reason it does that is because this comparator will detect the signal coming out of this thing, and it will feed power into this, which will power this, which will power this, and push it over here, lock it back in place. And so it's this continual feedback loop mechanism. I'm probably not doing the best job explaining it, but this thing, I just messed up completely. Let's fix it. All right, we got that thing fixed back now. So this is obviously a powered block as well, and all of this redstone dust is powered. Hopefully you guys all are that knowledgeable. And what happens is, as soon as this comes over here, it causes the transfer of power to hit this block here, which is just another piston in the floor, and it raises so quickly and goes back so quickly, it causes just a 1 tick pulse. And the game of Minecraft is divided into ticks, and you can think of it like reality being divided into seconds or whatever. And anyways, yeah, it creates this quick little pulse, and it just sends the signal out, and everything else we explained a minute ago. But this would be, I guess, a pulse generator, something that I didn't explain a minute ago. So something else that I have realized is, let me get back into game mode 3 here. And we can come down here. Something I've realized before we can go any further, I was going to create a killing chamber down here next. But before I can do that, I have to decide what I'm going to do with all the things that these guys drop. Because we're down at bedrock. I can't go much lower. When they drop this stuff, right now they're picking it back up because there are more mobs here. But the way we're going to do it, everybody's going to die. They're going to drop their goodies, and then I'm going to have to pick it up with a hopper, which means, like I said, the hopper sucks down. So it has to be... the hopper has to be below wherever these guys die. So if they die where they are right now, the hopper has to be down a level, which is into bedrock, and we can't go below bedrock. So I'm going to have to raise this up a little bit, and then I'm going to have to create a transportation system. All of that to say, I need to create that transportation system and all that network going on there before I create this killing chamber so that I can do it at the right level. So there's quite a bit more work involved in this before we can go to that next step. And I think we're going to go ahead and do that in the next episode. I'm pretty happy with the progress I made today, considering I'm such a noob at all this stuff. Well, guys, we came over here in one of our most recent live streams to destroy this ice spikes biome and fill up those 2 boxes down there. Those are my ice boxes, and they are absolutely full of this good old packed ice so that we can finish up the project that we were working on in this episode. But we have a little while to go on that, so I think we're going to wrap it up this episode and start that one up next time. Guys, in the meantime, thank you so much for watching this episode of Hybridcraft, and thank you for joining me here. If you made it this far, let me know down in the comments below, and leave a like, because why were you watching it this long if you didn't like it? Come on now. If you're not already subscribed, you know the deal. get subscribed, hit that subscribe button, the bell as well so you don't miss a thing, and join me on some live streams, guys. I know a lot of you haven't. We've been having a ton of fun. Not only do we do some work in this world, but if you didn't know, we have been getting together in Hypixel and a few of the other servers online and playing some little mini games together, and it's been an absolute blast. So if you haven't, check those out. I do have a video on demand list called live streams where you can catch all that stuff. Guys, until next time, take care, and as always, keep it creative.